If the coronavirus wasn't already frightening enough, a deadly flu season is just around the corner. In a moment, I'll be joined by Prime Minister Scott Morrison for the latest on this global health crisis. But first, the importance of getting the flu shot, and is there enough vaccine to go around?
I worry that my children aren't going to be safe. You know, if the vaccines aren't there, what's going to happen to my children? Are they going to catch these diseases?
With coronavirus cases and panic growing by the day, this is the last thing we need.
The biggest concern we've got is that people won't get vaccinated if they need it.
Warnings of a dreaded flu season heading our way, and concerns we could run out of vaccines.
We want at least 95% of the community ideally protected and vaccinated against the flu.
It's quite scary as a parent because you obviously can't protect them from everything.
With 4-year-old Nash and 21-month-old Riker in daycare, Mum Jess is used to her children coming down with the odd bug. But she says recently the thought of them getting sick has her in a panic.
It's a scary thought to think that, you know, we've got these two, you know, the flu and the coronavirus that is obviously causing a lot of deaths around the world. Any of us or even our children could be greatly at risk.
In the United States, they've had as many as 16,000 seasonal influenza-related deaths so far this year. It is possible that we could be looking at large disease burden this year.
The official stance of the Australian Medical Association is everyone who can get a flu jab this season should. New South Wales President Dr Ken Seng-Lim.
If we have both a bad influenza season and more numbers of coronavirus victims around Australia, this will put an increased stress on all of the medical resources.
My recommendation would be brace for the worst and hopefully we get the best.
Dr Sally Coburn claims the World Health Organisation predicts the flu may kill up to 650,000 people every year.
I believe when the experts meet every year to decide what they're going to put into the flu vaccine, they also decide how many they need. And I hope that they've anticipated there may be a bit of a run on it, given all the other stuff that's been going on.
So the big question is, will there be enough flu vaccines to cover nearly the whole of Australia? After all, there are more than 25 million of us.
Almost 200,000 extra doses of the flu vaccine have been rushed to Victorian doctors
during one of the worst seasons in history.
Just last year, we saw vaccine supply issues.
For the 2019 flu season, it was particularly bad. There was a record number of confirmed cases of it, and the Australian government did actually have to order some extra deliveries of the flu vaccine. It was unprecedented demand, over 10 to 20%.
Anthony Tassoni from the Pharmacy Guild of Australia.
We will be able to meet the demand at least in the early parts of the winter months with our forecasting and looking at the really bad 2019 season, where over 13 million Australians actually were vaccinated against the flu.
It is important that we get this vaccine situation right.
The Department of Health has told us although it's too early to say how many vaccines may be required, record numbers of supplies for government programs have been secured, and Australia is well placed to respond to any increased demand that may arise.
We need to make sure that the people who really need the flu vaccine, that it's available for them. So they are people over 65, people with chronic illnesses, pregnant women, and there are free vaccines for these special groups.
And children aged 6 months to less than 5 years are eligible for free flu vaccines at their local GP. The advice from the experts is simple but effective.
Number 1, wash the hands. Number 2, don't put them anywhere near your face or mouth, hands or eyes.
So my message to the government would be, what are you doing to make sure that we're all getting the opportunity to be vaccinated, to make sure that we're all safe, and to make sure that we as Australians don't have to worry?
And flu vaccine stock for the 2020 season is expected in pharmacies in coming weeks.